marshmallows or something, but we'll keep it simple for today, which is not my forte. We'll try. Keep it simple. So, you will get the whole recipe when we're done, but I'm going to go very slowly through it. So in your bag, you should have chocolate chips. So you should have some semi-sweet chocolate chips, doesn't matter what variety. And you should have bittersweet or dark chocolate chips. It's really not a big deal. Whatever form of chocolate you have should be fine. You should also have sweetened condensed milk. You should have 2 cans of that. Vanilla, which I have to go locate. Nuts, I'm using walnuts, but you could use any kind you wanted. And then I'm gonna grab the vanilla. So and then before we get started, whenever you start, before you start cooking, whatever it is, like let's say we're gonna make fudge today, or you're gonna make a quiche, or make cookies or a cake, the first thing you do is to get your pans ready. So in this case, I have if you don't have a 9x9 pan, it's not a big deal. The idea of 9x9 is the fudge will come out thick, which is nice. But if it's a little smaller pan, it's okay too. But so with your pan, you want to get some tin foil or parchment paper and line it like I have. Just really simple. And then once you line it in there, it's going to be a little wrinkly, but that doesn't matter. And then we're going to, you can take a little bit, if you have cooking spray, I ran out of cooking spray, or butter, and you can just rub the inside of it. So that's what you can all do to start. Oh, there's somebody in the middle. Now, who is that again? iPhone, who's that? Hello? Tell me your name. Mute yourself, honey. No, we lost her. I just want to know. That's the student, right?
Our student's Jolie. Yeah, I believe that. Jolie, is that you? Can you say hi, please?
It's Stephanie. That's what I thought. And you others are
hi.
all counselors? Stephanie, hello. I'm happy you turned the light on. That's good. So I could see your pretty face. You ready to rock and roll? Yes? All right, I'm going to grab the vanilla and I'll be right back. So here we have our vanilla. So that you can see me, I'm doing it on a little burner stove, which if you guys ever go camping, this is what you would do when you're camping. So this is going to take me just a minute to turn it on. So while I'm moving this around, you can open up your cans of condensed milk. Stephanie, are you counselors doing the recipe too, or just Stephanie? You counselors are observing me and giving me a grade here?
Yes, we all are doing it.
You're all doing it? Okay.
Now, Madalena looking like no. Madalena, do me a favor. If you're not going to do it, I want you to be the typer. So as she give the different recipes, you know, sometimes people can't hear. Can you just type up what she say right there so the other kids can keep up, okay?
Yes, I can.
Thank you so much. Can I leave you now? Y'all all set? Is everybody here before I go off? I was writing the grant. Is everybody here?
Open up.
No.
Open your
No. Look, somebody else. Here you go. Who is that?
Open up your condensed milk. So this is a pretty simple recipe. Very simple. So that's a good thing to start out with. So I'm going to open my condensed milk and we're going to put everything in the pan. So you can put it in the pan. Don't turn the heat on if you're near the stove yet. Just put everything in the pan with the burner, with the gas off or the electricity off. Am I going at the right speed? You with me?
I think you might be going a little too fast because the kids kind of like take their time. So maybe pause for like a couple minutes for the kids to like be at the pace you're at.
Sure, honey. You got to tell me that a lot because you know my background's in the restaurant. So those chefs that scream and yell. I'm not like that at all. But everything like goes like this. So you have to like.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome, honey. So just open up the condensed milk and drop it in the pan. That's first thing.
You got it, Madalena?
Sweetened condensed milk, you know, so this is like very, very sticky.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. All right, I'm going back to my.
How we doing? We good?
Text me or something.
Okay.
All right.
I have a question.
Yes.
So for this condensed milk, are they opening both cans or just one? Both
Both.
cans. Perfect.
So I can give you each ingredient and you can write it down. Would you like me to do that? Or I can just get the recipe at the end and I can
I already sent the recipe to Julie, so they're gonna have it out.
all right,
Time she gives it to them.
let someone in. Hold on.
You got it, Julie, right?
Yes, I just sent it to Madalena so she could write it down as we're going.
All right, got it.
Fine.
And if you guys get a chance, make sure y'all email it to the kids so they can all be set.
Eli, there's someone new. Eli, Emily. No, Emily's been here. Eli's new.
Darius is new.
All right. Darius. Do I know him? Wait, who was the kid, the boy, young man who was here before?
Brandon, I think he's not
Brandon.
here.
Is Darius a new counselor?
Well, for you.
For me. For me. All right. So we got the condensed milk in the pan. Are we there? So you may have to get a spoon and go in here and get it out because it's very, you know, it's really sticky. And you want to get it all out. I think evaporated milk and sweetened condensed milk dates back to the Second World War. It's amazing that it's still around. All right, so that's the first task is get it in the pan. Have any of you guys ever made fudge before?
No.
No? Okay. All right, how are we doing? Do we have the milk in the pan?
Yes.
Yes, all right. Was that Stephanie saying yes? All right, next, we need, so that's 2 cans of, it's 28 ounces of condensed milk. So that's 2 14-ounce cans of condensed milk. See on the recipe. So that's what's in the pan now. Next, we're gonna do 2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate. So, yeah, 2 cups. Well, that's weird.
And that was the can. That wasn't in the can.
Yeah,
Yeah, you already put that. Now you have to put 2
The
cups.
next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna put the chocolate in here.
2 cups.
All right. How are we doing? Am I going at the right speed? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Do we have to put milk?
So the condensed milk is what we put in the pot.
Okay.
The 2 cups of condensed milk. that, and I don't have my scale with me, but a lot of times when you have pastry chefs, they always weigh everything because there is a difference between measuring it with a cup like this and the weight. This recipe says 2 cups of chocolate, but it actually right next to it says 12 ounces. So, not to make things complicated, but if you can put in, get a measuring cup that's, if you have 4 ounces, do you have a half a cup measuring cup? Because what we want is, we want 12 ounces of chocolate. So that would be 1/2 a cup of chocolate 3 times. Okay? Are you with me? Yes? Someone say yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, we good? Okay, so if you have even if you have a half a cup, you want 4 ounces, and we're gonna do that 3 times. And that'll make 12 ounces. Okay? Stephanie, with me?
Yes, okay.
Okay. So I'm just gonna put it in here to show you. There's 4 ounces. And another 4 ounces. And another 4 ounces. So that's 12 ounces. So I'm gonna stick that in here. That's the semi-sweet chocolate I put in here right now. And next, can I go on? Shall I go on? Are we on the same, all the same page? Okay. So that's a semi-sweet chocolate, 12 ounces in the pot. Now I'm gonna do it with the dark chocolate. One, 4 ounces. 8 ounces. 4 more ounces, that's 12 ounces. So we've got that all in the pot. So it really is pretty simple.
How many cups of the dark chocolate?
What?
How many cups of the dark chocolate?
So you want 1.5 cups.
Okay.
So 8 ounces is in 1 cup, right? And then another half a cup. So 12 ounces. And then last but not least, we're gonna put in the nuts. So we're gonna get everything in the pot and then turn on the heat. Because chocolate is among the most temperamental things that you can cook with. So whatever heat you have it on, it has to be like low to medium. And you have to keep stirring it, never stop stirring it. So we're gonna put in a cup of nuts now. All right? How are we doing? Are we all together? Yes? I'm gonna shall I turn the pot on? Are we all together now or not yet? Please. Yes?
I'm still mixing.
Okay. We don't really have to do much of anything until we turn the heat on. So these two people at the bottom, Tina and Miguel, are they here and we can't see them? And Don Trez. Are these students? Juliana?
Yeah, Miguel should be a student. He's one of my students.
Oh, Darius, you a counselor too?
He should be here.
Okay,
Yeah.
how
I'm
many
a senior
of you are
counselor for the boys. So
okay. So how many of you are counselors again? Catch me up here. Juliana, Madalena,
should
and
be
Darius.
it should be Juliana.
Okay.
Yes, and then Don Trez, and we're missing one more, Dylan. He should be joining in a few.
Addie is here, but she's taking the ingredients down. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Oh, hi, Miguel.
Hi.
Hi. Are you just joining us
Did
now?
did he show us?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. You have all the ingredients? All right, well, maybe somebody can catch her up. Is everybody got everything in the pot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you can turn your heat on to low and keep stirring.
Do we have to put salt or anything?
Oh yeah, I forgot the salt. Yes, like a pinch of salt.
Todo que dice no es cuánto, how much did it, how much is that?
A pinch of salt, like I would say quarter of a teaspoon.
A little bit, you
I don't know if you can see my flame. I'm gonna be getting some different kinds of things so that you can see me better. I've got some things on order.
No, this one.
So we have everything in there and I've got the heat on, it's low. Low. So we're just mixing and mixing and mixing. And we're looking, we want to get all the chocolate melted.
Do we put it in an oven or in the cooking?
It's not going to go in the oven. We're going to cook it and then we're going to put it in the pan and then we're going to put it. It takes a little while to set up, so we're going to cheat a little bit and we're going to put it in the freezer for a little while because that'll cut the chilling time in half. Ordinarily, if you make this at home, you make it and then you could stick it in a cover with saran wrap and put it in the refrigerator.
Ya puse en la vainilla, se añadió después, bien, ya pusimos.
So one of the reasons that you have to be so careful with this is because chocolate's very temperamental, and if you get it too hot, there's no going back. So if it gets too hot, then it does what is called seizing. So it becomes like I don't even know how to describe it. It looks like a ball of coffee grains. And then you're shot. Then there's not much you can do. That's why you never want to get it too hot, why you have to go very slowly. You can use any kind of spoon, but I happen to be partial to wooden spoons. They're really cheap and they're nice for doing a lot of things within the kitchen. So what we're looking for is, once it's all in there, is everything melting along there, guys?
Yeah.
The chocolate has to melt, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So once it gets all melted, we'll cook it for about 2 to 3 minutes. We're looking for it to be kind of shiny, which is sort of a general thing to say, but we just want to make sure everything is melted. And also, if it's confusing, I mean, it's usually that I put everything together in the bowl, but you could melt the chocolate and have the milk in there and then melt it and then add the nuts. You know, you don't, because that's the only thing about it is putting the nuts in makes it a little hard to see that the kernel, that the chocolate chips aren't in there. But it's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's not like working with jelly, something fancy like that. It's pretty simple. Oh, you know what? I don't think I recorded this. How are we doing? Are we good?
Yeah, I'm good.
So everything's melting?
Yeah,
Is Eli a student or a counselor? Eli,
I'm a student.
are you a student?
Yeah,
How you doing?
good in you.
Nice to meet you. Are you caught up with us? You got everything melted?
Yeah, it's melting.
Diana, ven a hacer. Vos tienes que hacer.
Can someone show what theirs looks like so that we all know that we're doing it right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You can't really
Oh. Oh, sí, está.
see.
Mira, así.
It's pretty thick. I mean, it's not like making some fancy sauce where you're looking for some specific thing. You just want to make sure everything's melted and it's a little shiny. So
Thank you.
How many minutes do we have to let it sit?
how many minutes you have to let it sit? Well, that's the only downside of this recipe is that it does have to set up. Technically, you'd put it in the refrigerator overnight or for an hour and let it set up, but we're going to try to stick it in the freezer to shorten the chilling time and see how we do. But as long as you're all melted and everything, mine's a little shiny now. You know, everything's pretty much incorporated, I would say. Anybody, now, do you guys have your pans ready? I don't know, I think people came at different times. So when I started out, I talked about before you start cooking, you always want to get your, whatever it is that you're cooking in, like if you're making a cake, cupcakes, fudge, brownies, you got to get the pan ready first, because if you have to do it now, you know, that's slowing things down. So a 9x9-inch pan or something along those lines. And then you want to line it with either parchment paper or tin foil and butter that. And if tin foil, you'll have some wrinkles, but it doesn't matter.
Do we have to put like butter or spray?
Yeah, sprays. I ran out of spray, but yes, Pam is good. Just spray, line it with tin foil, and then spray it with Pam.
On top of the paper, right?
On top of the tin foil, yes. Because if you buttered the pan and tried to put it in there, it's so thick that it would you know, you'd have to be digging it out. It would, this way we can lift, hopefully at the end of it you can lift it out. I don't know whether we're going to be together when you have cold fudge. I'm not sure about that. because it does take a little while to set up. So I'm gonna put it in, I'm going in now, I'm gonna put it in. It's nice to do things like this with fudge in a 9x9 or even smaller, because then it makes big fat pieces of fudge, which I happen to think is nice. So does anybody have any questions? Oh, and before you do what I just did, put a little vanilla in. I forgot the vanilla. So you need a teaspoon of vanilla. I forgot the vanilla. So I'm just going to mix that in right now. All right. Don't do what I just did and put the vanilla in the pan. That's not advisable, but I forgot it. So, but it's not going to hurt it. This is the time when it's really great to have a spatula, which I don't have right now, but it's wonderful because spatulas get in all the corners. Any questions?
That looks good, Eli.
Yeah, I think it's all right. Very simple. That's what my boss told me to do. Bab said, go simple.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the thing that's nice about fudge too is you can put almost anything in it. You could do nuts, you could do marshmallows. Candy cane, like crunched up candy canes. I mean, I don't know. If you like jalapeno peppers, you could chop up a few of those in there. That's a little weird. I like things like that. Like I like sweet and sour, spicy and sweet. How are we doing? Are we good? You guys, you better start talking here. I'm tired of my own sound of my own voice now. Come on. I'm the least scary chef you'll ever meet. I swear to you, that is the truth. Ask my son.
Destiny, where's the food? Show me the food, Destiny. Oh, that looks good. Wait a minute, is somebody taking pictures here? I just thought about that.
My sister.
So I don't know if you can see mine.
Okay, Mari.
Yeah, eat it.
Sort of, but that's pretty much what it is. Now I'm going to stick mine in the freezer, and then we're going to chat while it's getting cold.
I wanted to get pictures, so if everyone can turn their cameras on, that would be greatly appreciated. Or when everyone's done, I'll get like a nice group picture.
Looks so good. I wonder how many calories is in that pan.
Hey, what they don't know when I hurt them, they are fine. They don't know.
Right. They kids. They can
There you
enjoy
go.
it.
Okay, so that's it. Who is that? I think I have to start wearing my glasses because I can't see back there.
That's Destiny. How you gonna ask
Destiny.
who is that?
I can't see back there. That looks gorgeous. Bravo, chef.
Thank you. My dad and my sister are actually helping me.
That's all right. It's okay to ask for help and all right to receive it.
Good.
So get that in the freezer here, please.
Emily, how's it going over there? Y'all look like y'all having fun.
I'm good.
Okay.
So just to clarify, the method on the recipe does not say put it in the freezer. That's a note that by say Chef Nina said to do this to cut down on the cooling time. Okay?
So do we put it in the freezer?
What?
Do we put it in the freezer now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So only because I'm hoping that it'll firm up by the time we're all together. I can't guarantee that. It may take longer than that, but we'll.
Oh, that looks good, Emily. Look at Emily, Sabrina.
Perfect.
Chef.
Yeah, right on. That's it. You could, sweetheart, you could trim the edges of the paper if you wanted to a little bit. You don't have to. But that'll be good. You can lift it out when it's cold. The other thing in the freezer, you wanna, if it's in the fridge, it doesn't matter where you put it. But since we're trying to expedite things, speed it up a little bit, you wanna try to get it in the top of the freezer. Because that's where it'll be the coldest. So I thought this was a good recipe to do first because it's nice and simple. It's chocolate. Who doesn't like chocolate? So the other thing I was thinking was if you wanted to, you could even put raspberries in it. Like probably fresh raspberries as opposed to frozen, because frozen have extra water. You probably don't want that in the fudge. But that's
So you can have pineapples on top of your fudge.
So that sounds real good.
raspberry. I love raspberries and chocolate together.
Yes. I'm thinking about edible
Who's
arrangement.
made that noise?
I like strawberries covered with chocolate.
Did you say yuck?
I said yes.
Oh, good. All right. You said yes. Okay, good.
She said she likes strawberries on top
Strawberries
of her.
are nice.
That's a good idea.
We did chocolate covered strawberries once. I don't think you all were here.
No, but that could have been a good thing for this class because I don't think this class know about that one.
Well,
Ooh, that was
maybe
good.
we could.
Hell. Wow.
Barbara, maybe we could do that at the end because the last recipe that I had, you told me to be simple, so I took you at your word.
Okay.
But I'm not simple.
Do you guys want to make the chocolate covered strawberry ones?
So we can do that at the end.
You got 2, yes.
Yes.
3, okay.
Barbara, we could swap out the bananas and do chocolate covered strawberries.
Oh, but the banana one was so good.
Oh, you like that too? Well, we could do.
I'm joining this class. I don't know what y'all talking about.
That's a great compliment. But, and
They
then we'll
said
sing.
they wanted chocolate covered strawberries. So
Can we have a voice lesson while we're cooking?
there you go.
You got your pan in the fridge?
Refrigerator for an hour.
What?
Do we have to leave it in the refrigerator for?
Yeah. So technically, it goes in the refrigerator for an hour. And best case scenario, overnight. And then you could do it at night and then take it out the next day. But we're going to try to see if it'll firm up in the freezer because that'll cut the time. Maybe we got started a little late. We could go to 4:15. If Barbara says it's okay.
Well, that's not on me. It's on these counselors. Counselors.
All right, counselor.
Fine.
I got a little late.
That's fine with me.
All right.
Good.
I don't think it's going to firm up in that amount of time, but we can see. So what else do you guys like to, does everybody have their product in the freezer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Miguel, I love your hair. Check that hair out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So are you guys all in school or are you all doing remote learning or are you all in school?
Online.
Online. She says that with no smile on her face. How is that?
Boring.
Boring, right? Well, one day at a time. Hopefully this will be over soon.
It's almost over.
Juliana, how are you doing? I see your pretty face, but I see you going like this.
I already put mine in the freezer. I'm doing something else. Mine is already in the freezer.
Oh, excuse me. You're ahead of us already. I see. Are you making us dinner now? All right. So everybody's waiting. All right. Well, what should we talk about while we're waiting?
Well, I got it. Well, I know it's too late for my suggestions because
It's okay. Go ahead.
Y'all were making all these beautiful recipes, but is pizza one of your recipes that you guys are making? Or no?
No, but interesting that you should say that. When can we meet? Can't we meet in person? When can we meet in person? This is like
Are you talking to me or the kids? Who you talking
Yeah, that's fine.
everybody. When can we like meet in person?
So they're trying to find a way around March to try to have something like that happen, but they're just playing it by ear based off of the pandemic and how things progress as months go on.
I know, it's a ridiculous question, but I'm the eternal optimist. And I would love nothing better than to be in person, because then we would, then I wouldn't keep saying, can I hear you, speak up, blah, blah, blah. I'd see you, and I'd see your hands going, da, 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 da. And you look like you're all very accomplished already. I'm not sure that you really need me. Juliana's moved on. Juliana's moved on to making dinner. So it's interesting you should say pizza, Miss Barber, because this I bought this summer. In all my life as a chef, I've never had a pizza stone. Can you see this?
Yeah.
So pizza, anybody know why pizza stones are so great? Has anybody ever made pizza on a pizza stone? Anybody ever made pizza? No. Okay. So pizza is very satisfying.
I have.
Yes.
Who said that? Whoops.
I've made a pizza at Domino's for a few
Oh, really?
Domino's. Who said that? Miguel?
No.
Who
That's
said that?
Destiny.
That was Destiny.
Stephanie?
Destiny.
Destiny. Okay.
Chef, you can't hear.
Where is she? Oh, there you are, Destiny. You made it at Domino's? How was that?
Good. We had a field trip. I think it was 3rd, 4th grade that we had a field trip for fractions for math. So I made a bacon pizza.
Bacon, yum.
So cool.
That sounds good. That's a really great idea. Whoever that teacher was, they were smart.
Very good. I have a question.
Yes.
What are they cooking next week?
Well, I think what's on the roster is fruit tarts. Not fruit tarts. Like Pop-Tart, like homemade Pop-Tarts.
Oh, really?
It's not completely homemade. I mean, you said keep it simple, so we're buying a pie dough and we're gonna make it. We could also make our own pie dough, but for the sake of simplicity, I thought we could purchase one.
Okay.
So that's what we're making, homemade Pop-Tarts. But if you have another idea, I'm all ears.
Well, no, I think they already, do you have your supplies already for your pop?
Yeah, they already delivered it to all the kids and the counselors.
Yeah, we can't change nothing, Miss Nina. Don't be coming up with no ideas. I'm
That's
just
fine.
asking questions.
You know me, I'm always up for something. So if you wanted to do something different like week 3, as long as we have enough time.
No, I think did they supply you with all 5 recipes?
They do everything?
Everything. They gave us everything.
They
Okay,
gave them
never
all
mind.
5, so you're done, Miss Nina. They gave them all 5.
Okay, never mind. All right, well,
Well,
all right, just
the
for the
next-
sake of conversation, since Miss Barbara asked about pizza, this is a pizza stone. And the reason, you know how when you go at pizza at a pizza joint or something, probably Domino's too, they have this big oven and the bottom of the pizza is all black because it's hard substance like this. But maybe we'll do that next time.
So, I mean, I don't know how the classes
Want to
rotate.
go look in the freezer and see how it looks? Look how your fudge looks.
Check your fudge, everybody.
A ver cómo se ve.
You can tell, the one way you can tell how cold it is, of course, is by, if this is your pan, touch the bottom of it, and if it's still warm, it's still warm. So we have a few more minutes.
Is it still warm at the bottom of the pan?
Mine is.
Okay, then put it back in there.
How are you guys? Is it still warm on the bottom?
Mine is still warm, but it's cooling off.
It's cooling off. Right.
Yes, mine is.
Jolie, is yours warm? Is it in the oven? I mean, in the refrigerator? I mean, the freezer?
So, and here's a tip, a little restaurant tip. Like, you know, a lot of times in restaurants, so they have the people in one part of the kitchen that do all the chicken, the meat, the fish, all that stuff. They're in one part of the kitchen. And then very often, if you ever go into a restaurant kitchen, you'll find a pastry chef who's doing this kind of work, either downstairs or all the way in some other part of the kitchen with their own oven and their own fridge. And the reason for that is that, you know, if you put your stuff, like if you put your fudge without a covering in the refrigerator overnight, and, you know, the chef or the sous chef at the restaurant's like, oh my God, I got to throw everything in here. And he throws in a bowl full of raw onions next to your fudge. How do you think the fudge is going to taste the next day?
I have a question.
Kind of like onions. So that's a lot of the reason why pastry chefs, anything with to do with pastry, cookies, cakes, anything with the restaurant ice cream is always in a separate part of the kitchen. So since we're not in a restaurant and we're in your home, on that note, when you make this again, because I'm sure you will, you want to make sure that when you put it in the refrigerator overnight, you take saran wrap and cover your fudge really well to make sure that no air gets in. And if there are onions in the refrigerator, make sure that, you know, they're wrapped up or they're down below or they're somewhere.
Julie, read my message.
Because it really does things, anything dessert is like, it just takes on the flavor of things for some reason, especially.
See?
I thought so. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
I knew it.
What happened?
Huh?
What did I miss?
She was just trying some techniques.
Oh, good. Yeah, it would be a lot of fun to do these classes in person because, I mean, I think we do fine this way, but there are a lot of things that kind of get lost in translation. Like if you're going to whip cream and try to show somebody like exactly the level to stop before you turn it into butter.
So can I ask one more question and then I'm done with the things. Once you guys are done with your fudge, do you think that when you cut the fudge, think about pictures, because I think Madalena, you're doing the pictures, right? When you're done with these fudges, can you put them on a nice plate and plate them? Ms. Nina, can you talk about the word plating so they can understand how to plate them, because they're not going to be on camera once the fudge is ready? Talk about the plating so they know what to do once the fudge is ready, so they can take a picture and send their pictures in to Madalena.
Yes, that's great. That's like a whole class. So it's plating and presentation. Both things are extremely important. Just a moment while I go get a white plate.
Okay. Can you send me some pictures to Madalena when y'all are done with that? So
yeah, I can.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So when you're making beautiful things, especially desserts, you know, you're proud, you made it, everything looks amazing. And the other thing to think about, even before you finish your, whatever it happens to be, a cake, fudge, brownies, you want to make sure that you have something to put it on that's pretty. And Miss Barbara talked about plating. So plating is right in line with presentation. So you'll notice, like if you ever go out to dinner with your parents, you know, whatever comes out of the kitchen, whether it's your dinner or your dessert, it should look beautiful on the plate. There's usually maybe a little garnish on it. Everything's placed just so. So, because you eat with your eyes as well as much as your mouth. So
take this back for a minute.
If you have a white plate, if you don't, it's okay. But I happen to like white plates because whatever you're doing, if it's a brownie, fudge, a lemon tart, a raspberry mousse, or whatever you're making, everything looks shows up more on a white plate, right? It's just whatever the color is that you're making, it pops. So my recommendation would be to try to find a white plate. Oh, look, she's right on it. Look, she's got a white plate already. Yeah, go girl. The other thing you can do, which I don't know if you have, probably don't, because most people don't have them hanging around in their cupboard, unless they live with their grandmother, is a doily. Anybody know what a doily is? They're all like, what? Doily's paper. It's like, almost looks like lace, but it's paper. And a lot of, even if you go to the diner and you look in the case where they have all the desserts, you'll see a lot of the, oh, I lost you.
No, I'm just showing examples. Go on.
So
I talk about it while you were doing it. Go on.
Put it on a doily if you have one. But a white plate is perfect. And just like that is perfect because it's beautiful squares standing up. The other thing, if you have it for presentation's sake, fresh mint, you can find at the grocery store. That would look really pretty. You always want to find some kind of they call mint a garnish. So in other words, something that will make whatever your dessert is pop a little bit. I always put mint on things. I don't have any today, unfortunately, but you could stick some little sprigs of mint in there. And then whoever sees your pictures are going to think that you're a restaurant chef because that's what a restaurant chef is. You could also put little raspberries around it. It's just anything to enhance whatever the product is, to make it prettier.
One more question. One more thing. You see how these are topped? Can you just talk about how they're to sprinkle their toppings, Miss Nina, please?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that's nice. Yeah, see that particular, that's great you're showing these pictures. So that picture has fudge and those are thinner. So it's totally a personal decision how fat or thick to make the fudge. That's one thing. The other thing is, that's another garnish. That's probably, I can't tell if those are peanuts, doesn't even matter. But they're chopped up nuts that you can throw on top.
One cup of water, you get water.
The other thing you could use is, and you see a lot of desserts is powdered sugar.
Oh, you can use that too. Just to make sure not to forget anything, and then you just need one egg.
Mute your phone, somebody. Oh, here's one she just said. Oh, this has coconuts on. Oh, where did she go? Lord have mercy, Miss Nina. Okay, this one has coconuts on it. I want to see them strawberry juice over there doing.
So the other thing you can use is powdered sugar. Mine's getting cold. I don't know that it's ready to cut yet, but yeah, there you go, powdered sugar. That's always pretty.
That's coconut, Miss Nina.
Mint, raspberries look pretty along the edge. You could even put the fudge on a bed of, like, if you're doing it for a party, you could put mint, like bunch of mint all along on the plate and then pile the brownies up on the plate. So yeah, candy canes, that's it. I still have some. I have to take down my tree. Those look good. Brown sugar fudge. There's all kinds of fudge. Cookies and cream fudge, peppermint fudge. I purposefully did something simple because I thought that, usually learning something, it's best to learn the simple way and then you can change it around if you want to. Okay. Oh, strawberries. That's interesting.
All right. Is that enough ideas, guys? Y'all understand now? Okay.
That looks good.
All right. I just wanted to give you, so make sure those pictures look good and send them to Madalena, please.
Yeah, so I think you learned a lot today. Not very simple techniques, but something doesn't have to be complicated to be good. A lot of times people think, oh my God, I have to make it so complicated, but sometimes the simplest recipe and the first form is the nicest. And especially when you're first learning how to cook, it's good to do things that are simple, because then you build your your repertoire. You build your, you know what the word repertoire means? Like your recipe book. Building your recipe book. So did anybody check their fudge? How is it? Mine's getting there. So the other tip when you do the fudge, that's a really good thing to do if you can, is get a tall glass and fill it with the water the hottest water you can find. You know, doesn't have to be boiling, but from the tap, hot water. And then when you're cutting your fudge, you dip your knife in here and then wipe off the excess water and then cut the fudge that way with a hot knife because it'll go through quicker and it'll make cleaner cuts. But every time you do it, you're gonna have to clean off the knife. We had a cold one to do, I don't know. The other thing is that the good part about having tin foil on the bottom of the pan is that when you want to cut it, you'll take the pan and you'll have whatever, like a cutting board or something, and you'll turn the pan over on the cutting board and it should come right out. And then you can peel, it'll be hard, the whole thing will be hard, and then you can peel off the tin foil. And from there, you can get your knife with the hot water and you can cut it. And if there's any way that I can do that now, I will. I don't think it's cold enough.
If it's not, don't worry. We're going to end now because I just want to make sure that they understand where they're going and what's happening next so they can prepare themselves.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope you had fun. Thank you for coming. And Miss Barbara and I will go over the technical difficulties that I had problems with so that we'll be ready to roll at 4 p.m. next week.
Any questions or comments for today? No one have any questions? Everybody understand what they're going to do with their fudge, how they're going to cut it, you're going to plate it, and you're going to take your picture and send it to Madalena. Everybody understand?
My number's in the chat.
Just make sure, you just got to make sure that it's very, very cold. So I would say, you know, it's 5:15. I wouldn't do anything until like 6 o'clock to make sure it's really firm.
Okay.
Did you get the phone number out of the chat? Because when I end, you won't see it. Did you get the phone number out of the chat?
Oh.
Get the phone number right now. Julie, I wanted to see how that came out.
Yeah, Juliana, did you make dinner? What time should I come?
No, he was making chocolate covered strawberries.
Right now?
Well, right out of your fudge, that was a good idea.
When I put that thing on the fridge, I had some leftover chocolate, so I just made some strawberries quick.
Oh, look at this one. What's she making over there?
I'm making brownies.
Oh, you making brownies. Boy, they couldn't know what to
need me.
Okay, Destiny. All these kids got stuff. They're ready.
What's that?
Oh, that looks good. Who is that? Emily?
Yeah.
That's Destiny. All right,
Destiny, that's strawberry. Oh, she's already looking pretty.
She's all ready. So I'm looking forward to these beautiful treats that you guys have. Thanks, everybody.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Looks good.
Good.
Thanks,
all right, guys,
everyone.
well, thanks for coming. And we'll see you next week.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Bye.
It was fun.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Stop it.
Bye.